Hi, my name is Tim Fenneman.
And I'm Michael Sarnelli.
And welcome to this week's edition of A, B to Z.
ComEd High School basketball is back for the 2014-2015 season.
Last year was a very interesting season with Hootie and the Orange Fish taking home the victory.
This year, many participants are expected, and an even better season than last year should be taking place.
We had a chance to sit down with Calvin E. Sullivan, a member of Hootie and the Orange Fish's championship squad. What do you think the key will be to win the championship this year with the squad?
I think the key is to ultimately, same thing as last year, pass well, come together as a team, mesh, and just win.
Wow, it appears he possesses a bright future in community education's recreational basketball league.
Really inspiring to finally hear from the legend Calvin E. Sullivan.
You can go to the ComEd website, abce.abschools.org, to sign up for the upcoming season.
Be ready for some great basketball and a lot of fun.
On another note, ABRHS's Proscenium Circus is putting on their annual fall play.
Yes, this year the very talented Proscenium Circus is putting on You Can't Take It With You, a play with romance and comedy for all ages.
The play will begin for 3 more shows, November 7th at 7:30 and the 8th at 3 and 7:30.
And while the fall play is about to wrap up, plans are already underway for the winter musical.
This year's production is Sweet Charity, and the auditions are taking place on November 10th from 2:30 to 9 p.m.
Sweet Charity has a jazzy score and is set in New York City in the modern wild 1960s.
You can find more information about the audition requirements and sign up to audition on PC website abdrama.org.
On Tuesday the 11th, the second annual Veterans Day breakfast will be held at the Holiday Inn in Boxborough.
This event hosts over 200 local veterans and is run by staff and over 100 students.
This year, the number of veterans in attendance is expected to increase substantially.
We were able to catch up with Mrs. Maddox about the breakfast.
I have to say this is one of the neatest things I've been a part of in the 10-plus years I've been at AB. It's something that my students and I have discussed for a long time on how can we honor veterans in Acton and Boxborough, and we've talked about it but never really pulled the trigger on getting something done. And I had a conversation with kind of an Acton legend. His name is Buddy Flannery. He's a member of the Rotary Club, and he suggested that we pair the Rotary Club with kids in the school to see if we couldn't pull something off. And we pulled it together last year. It's fascinating. We thought we were going to have about 200 veterans in Acton and that maybe 50 would show up and it'd be a small affair in the cafeteria where the kids would bring food and serve. And turns out we have over 900 veterans in Acton and Boxborough. So the event kind of took on a different specter when we realized how many people we were talking about. Last year, over 200 veterans and their families showed up for breakfast. 100 students showed up to serve. It was phenomenal. The Madrigals came and sang. We had a speaker. It just was a remarkable event.
If you're interested in helping out but can't attend the breakfast, you can sponsor a table of 10 veterans for only $50.
You can also send donations to the program with the check payable to ABRHS, attention Mary Price Maddox at 36 Charter Road in Acton. Thanks in advance for your support.
Hopefully the event this year will be an even greater success than last year.
It is not too late to get your ABSAF pass or donate to extracurricular activities here at AB.
Your contribution helps support AB and goes a long way to keeping the extracurricular activities going strong. For more information, visit www.absaf.net.
A regular feature here on our show is the Community Profile.
In this segment, we introduce you to unique and accomplished people here in the community.
This week, we introduce you to Rhea Savla.
Rhea is a senior here at Acton Boxborough who developed the organization Kids for Education.
This organization helps give young kids an opportunity to learn from a peer tutor and get their own independent education.
Here's Ivy Yang with more on Rhea.
This is Rhea Savla, a junior at AB. She's a talented classical Indian singer and dancer, a captain in the speech and debate team, and last but not least, she's president and co-founder of the nonprofit Kids for Education.
Following her sister's example, Rhea has also participated in speech and debate. Her enthusiasm for speech has paid off because she's been captain of the nationally ranked AB speech and debate team and has placed in numerous state and national competitions. In addition to being a huge part of the person she has become, it also led to the creation of Kids for Education.
Right, so last year I was writing a speech and I decided to do it on education in America. So I did a lot of research about it, and I found out that we were doing a pretty good job in terms of how much money we spend on our students. We spend more money than any other country in the world. But if you look at the ranks of the countries with education, America falls like way at the bottom. So then the question was, why is this happening? And what I found out from researching other countries was that the countries that do really well put a lot of focus on each and every student. And I know that this is a really big task to ask our teachers who are already doing a really good job. So I thought that if we could find some way to offer individualized education to each of our students, then we would do much better as a community.
Ria then told us what Kids for Education does.
Our goal is to offer each and every kid an individualized education, and that is regardless of their economic or social status.
Kids for Education has drawn in students who believe in the cause. Teja Palakonda, a tutor, spoke to us about how she felt about tutoring younger students.
And it was just kind of nostalgic for me because I remember being like that in junior high and not really knowing what I was doing and stuff. And for me to be like a confidant to those students and be someone that they can utilize as a help with their schooling, that was just a really good feeling to have.
Ms. Berberian and Ms. Walker, the junior high advisors, also talked to us about the benefits of the program which they've seen in their own students.
One of the things that's great is that students see high school students as role models. So I can say to students again and again, you should study world language, French or Spanish every day, and they don't always listen. But when they have a 16, 17, 18-year-old telling them that and saying how much it's helped them, I think it can have a really big impact on them, and they're more willing to get excited about that advice and follow through with it.
And one of the things too is that the tutors have been great in their encouragement of the students, and I think again getting that encouragement from high school students that our students look up to, really boost the confidence levels of our students. Like students will come back to me and say, Ms. Berberian, my tutor told me today that he saw improvement. That I was able to do the math problems better this time, and they're taking that confidence. Not only are they improving their skills, but they're taking that confidence with them, to the homework that night or to their studies the next day in school.
Starting a nonprofit is no easy task. Even Mr. Chorba, the high school advisor for Kids for Education, was impressed with Ria's ability to follow things through.
I think, even as someone who's an adult, I have no idea what really goes into starting a nonprofit, what the legal boundaries are of a nonprofit. So for her to take on that initiative, to organize, find people who share a vision with her, set up a nonprofit, understand the responsibilities that come with that, and then bring that to the community here at AB.
Mr. Chorba also commented on his reaction when he learned about Ria's ideas and her high goals.
Her mission is not just to serve Acton, but to expand to a regional level, a state level, national, and dare I say international level. So at first I was humbled. I was kind of a little bit suspicious about how this is going to work, how this is going to look, but continually I am impressed. I have learned that from Ria that I'm never going to be surprised again or shocked, because I've learned to expect the unexpected, and whatever I envision, it's always going to be better.
Ria is on the right track to making a difference in the world. Besides from Kids for Education, she is also an elected member of the State Student Advisory Board. We asked her where she thinks her interest in education reform will take her in the future.
Okay, so in my most idealistic sense, I hope to have Kids for Education at every single school and elementary school in America, and are also trying to spread it overseas. I'm going to India over the summer, and I'm talking to a school there. So basically our goal is to make education and help accessible. I think there's been a recent boom with like Khan Academy and online help and YouTube and John Green. But we want to have the same sort of help accessible with like a personal connection, stuff that you can engage in and ask your teacher questions.
The future of Kids for Education is certainly looking bright, as Ria's hard work and leadership is spreading her organization throughout the community and one day possibly around the world.
If you're interested in this organization, check out kidsforedu.org to learn more.
She's really an inspiration to the younger grades.
It truly is an amazing opportunity for our students to help out the youth of today.
In sports, several of our fall sports teams are in the midst of their state tournaments. Girls and boys soccer are expected to compete for state championships, and field hockey is prohibitive favorite to take home the state title as well.
We wish all of the fall teams the best of luck in the coming few weeks, and we will have updates and interviews on our next program.
The fall sports season will conclude on Thanksgiving morning with the annual Turkey Day tilt between AB and Westford. This year's game will take place right here on Leary Field. Hope to see you there. That's all we have for this edition of AB to Z, our 15th year on the air.
We will be off for a couple of weeks, but we'll be back with an all-new edition after Thanksgiving. Tim, what are you thankful for?
Thankful for my family, and that I get to see them every Thanksgiving.
Yeah. I'm also thankful for my family, but also the wonderful food they put on the table.
That is true. I do love the Thanksgiving food.
I'm Michael Sarnelli.
And I'm Tim Fenneman. And that's it for our show today.
Thanks for watching.